Good morning. So this is not the inside of a tent. I made it to Echo Chalet last night, and I was having a bit of electronics issues. I had tried the solar power is working great. The Goal Zero. I had switched out backup batteries. When Kevin came, and I had switched to a smaller battery thinking it was like a little lipstick size anchor. And I don't know if it was the cord, because sometimes those Android products, it's like the cords, if you don't get the right one, well, you know, Apple's the same way. They want their cord. Anywho, but all those little devices seem to have their own. It's very, anywho. So the lipstick wasn't charging, and so I had it on the lipstick all day. My phone went all the way down. I had 0 on my phone when I woke up yesterday, and anywho, so I had to sit at the chalet. I'm going into Desolation, and I just wanted to make sure, you know, everybody talks about how beautiful it is, that I made sure I had enough battery power that I'm going to be taking a lot of video, going to be taking a lot of pictures. So there's an outlet outside the chalet next to the phone booth. They actually have a payphone on the outside of the chalet, you know, one of the last few in the country, I think. So it took a while, and I blew it, and I didn't buy water before the store closed, and I was just so tired, my feet hurt, and you know, all this stuff. So I was sitting there, and luckily, you know, this man was taking a walk in the evening, and he's asking me about what I was doing, this and that, and I was still sitting there charging when he came back by, and it was late, and I didn't realize that I didn't have water for like almost 7 more miles, and I, you know, had like half a liter left, which is fine. I could have made it, but like I need more than that because I'm a contact lens wearer, you know. So anywho, he was nice enough to let me crash, and they're a lovely couple, David and Jan, and hopefully I'll be able to interview them this morning. But they're vacationing up here, and so this is the loft of the place that they're vacationing in, just like a 10th or maybe a 20th of a mile from the chalet. So anywho, there were some extra beds up here, and I have my sleeping bag. So yeah, it just worked out, and they were nice, and they were very interested in what I was doing, and so I got to tell them stories, and I think they enjoyed that. And I did a little surgery on my feet last night. I got a couple of new issues. So yeah, I'll show you that. Hold on. All right, here's one. I seem to have a cut there, a new blister there, which I popped last night, and anyways, and then another one here, which is doing better than this one, but still something to watch. The back of my heels have seen better days. So that one's split. And then this one, let's see. So this one, that was all blisters last night. And so I popped it, and it seems to have improved, but that's still not looking great. And then this guy up here in between my toes, I took the skin off the top last night, but there seems to be a blister underneath the blister. I didn't even know that could happen. And then, of course, what I had already going on my pinky toes, which I popped the other day, still looks, that might be fresh from yesterday. This one is, the toenail's still there, the polish just came off. So my experiment yesterday, I did the moleskin with the duct tape on top of it. That actually seems to have worked the best. Except for I'm almost out of duct tape and I'm almost out of moleskin. So that little store didn't have either. They didn't have ibuprofen. As far as it goes, they do have food to resupply. David said he had some duct tape here, so I'm gonna load up and take some extra on my hiking pole. As you can tell, my hair is a little. They were nice enough to let me shower last night. I'm sure it was a lot for their benefit too, but it was nice to wash my hair. God. So and it was a little funky putting on dirty clothes, but what are we gonna do? So I'm gonna pack up this morning. Hopefully they'll be up by the time I want to leave, because I would like to say thank you and offer them some money. I don't think they'll take it, but I'll offer them some money. And they were very nice, very intelligent people, very involved. So I'd like you to meet them. And again, it's just been so nice meeting all these people. So, and speaking of, I met this gal like day before yesterday. It was like on my way up to Round Lake, and she's like, "Oh, where'd you start?" Da, da, da. And she was, her and her girlfriend were about my age, you know, and I was like, "Oh, well, Mount Rose," and she says, "Oh, you're almost halfway," which today I'm halfway. Well, last night, Echo Lake is halfway for me. So I didn't realize it, and I was like, "Wow, I am halfway." I didn't realize, and I was coming down that steep grade after completing the pass, the largest pass yesterday. It was just so stunning, and I'm like at the bottom of this grade, and I'm looking up, and I'm just going, "Wow, look at me! I'm 5'4", a tiny woman, you know. Look what I just did, you know. I was able to do that, to conquer that up and over, and by myself, you know. Well, that's all relative though, you know. I obviously have to propel myself around the lake, but you know, the other thing is a lot of people have helped me. No one really ever does it alone. And you know, my thoughts about being halfway around the lake, i'm I'm excited that I've accomplished that, but the other side is I'm kind of like bummed that it's halfway over. You know, my feet are probably aren't, but you know, it's, and a large part of it has been meeting the people, you know, of course the beauty and the quiet and the time to reflect, but you know, really looking at the kindness of strangers. I mean, I was sitting by the phone booth last night, dirty and tired, and my feet with duct tape all over them, and you know, and this man is like, "Yeah, you know, if you want to, you know, sleep in a bed tonight." I was like, "Well, you know, I can make some allowances." You know, just these little things like Mike that gave me a ride to the trail, and Kevin that, you know, brought my resupply, and, you know, the owner of the store in Alpenglow that allows hikers to leave their boxes there. You know, these are, you know, we couldn't do it without, you know, I'm really taking the time and appreciating, and not only reveling in the beauty that is nature, but also reveling in the kindness of the human spirit, and how much people really are inclined to help each other if you let them know what's going on, and you know, what you might need. So it all started with a conversation about duct tape, and so here I am, you know, and so showered and cozy, and my feet feel a lot better, and ready to take on today, and yeah, go take a look at Aloha, right? See what that's all about. I'm excited. So thanks to everybody who's helped so far. Thanks everybody who's watching. Support, you know, it means a lot. You know, just I hope that what I'm doing, like what happened with me watching other people's videos, inspires you to get out there and do it. And we'll talk a little bit about that later, but I got to pack up and get on the trail. So good morning, and congratulations on halfway. Yeah, thanks.
Good morning. These are my lovely trail angels, Jan and David. That took me in last night and let me perform surgery on their porch on my feet and gave me a bed to sleep in and let me take a shower and wash that hair. So tell me a little bit about yourselves.
Well, we're David and Jen Hartzow. We're from San Francisco, and we're lucky enough to have a beautiful cabin up at Echo Lake in the Sierras at 7,400 feet. And we are lovers of mountains. We actually got engaged to get married a little over 50 years ago in the Grand Tetons,
Aw.
up high in the mountains. And it was when I asked her to marry me, we were so high, the oxygen level was very low, and she didn't have much resistance, and she said yes.
Oh, that's sweet.
But anyway, we love to hike, and we've hiked in the Sierras and in the Rockies and in the East Coast and the Appalachians, and in the Himalayas.
Nice.
And
We
the
did.
Alps.
And the Alps. The Alps.
Many times.
Our children are Peter and Heidi, as in
Aw.
the book Peter,
Wow.
Heidi,
Oh, that's cute.
and they love the mountains too.
Great.
But anyway, last evening, or most evenings, I take a walk along Echo Lake, and we have a special rock, which actually even has a back, looking out
Bench.
over the
Nice.
lake and the sun on the lake. And on the way, I met this young woman that her feet looked pretty injured from hiking. So she says, "Well, do you have any duct tape?" So I said, "Yeah, I'll get you some duct tape, on my way back." So anyway, it was great to have Trixie stay with us, and hope that her feet last her for the next the last half of her trip. But hopefully the beauty will nourish her to keep going, even if her feet are hurting.
For sure. For
So
sure.
anyway, it was really great to have you with us, and get a flavor. We're not so much long distance hikers anymore.
Right.
A pack on my back gets a little heavy.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
But we love short hiking and through, what's the word? Not osmosis. Through empathy.
Vicariously.
Without-
Vicarious travel.
Vicariously, we can do long distance hiking in
Nice.
the mountains. But the desolation wilderness, the area in which you're just going to be entering is very, very beautiful. All kinds of lakes.
I
Sure
can't
you'll
wait.
love it.
I'm excited. Any words of wisdom, Dan?
Not really. It's just fun to, as you said, vicariously experience the trip since
Yeah.
I'm not up to it right now. I just had spine surgery after reluctantly not wanting to have it for a long time. But it seems to have been a good idea.
Good.
So I can also walk along the lake, which we figure this is a good cabin for old folks because there's always going to be hiking.
Right.
Our favorite is a little bit off the trail when you go up towards Lake Aloha. There's Tamarack Lake, and then above it is a little lake called Ralston that isn't that marked. It tells about it, but there's no signs or anything, and you just circle around Tamarack and then go up over this ridge, and you're in this little cirque. It's
Nice.
just gorgeous.
You're just telling everybody all your secret spots.
Anyway, that's a pretty one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to thank you folks for your hospitality. And I'm telling you, it's people like you that are a big part of the trail for me. And I just really appreciate it. And it's just been a pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We got updated on all the latest tricks on hitting the trail.
Right on.
Happy trails.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah.